lovely listeners, we are dropping in on a whistle stop episode, little bonus for you today, with a celebration.
Yes.
Yes, I'm really excited about this. We are celebrating in this episode a new offering that Fee is bringing out. And I'm really excited about this because I get those lovely moments often working with Fee when I can see how her business is moving forward with the unfolding edge of her creativity and her sensitivity to her audience and what people want. And this has also been in the thought process and culmination and desire to be born for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm really stoked. So we wanted to share it with you.
We did. Yes.
Yes.
It's such a good example, isn't it, of your flow, not force? Because you're right. It is something that for a good couple of years I've been saying to you, I really want to do a mentored branding program for entrepreneurs, but I just can't see how I'm going to do it, how we make the logistics and the remit of it work and the timings. And it's been something that's been bubbling away, hasn't it, for quite a long time. And you are so right, as always, about the fact that this is totally about timing. And when it's the right time, it just slots into place. And I mean, I literally just, we planned it before half term, didn't we? And then it all just flowed out of me yesterday, which was lovely.
Because
I mean, that sounds very dodgy, but just, you know.
Well, but in the back end of that, we've had so many strategic conversations, haven't we? Because part of the thrashing out of this, like you said, is, you know, how does it work? What are the logistics? But in the picture of that, you know, you have an incredibly broad set of offerings, products, services, all of these things. And we do this every time we create something new, but for something to make sense, so many different parameters have to be explored. You know, the market, how does it fit with all the other offerings? Is it adding more value, which is your primary concern? You know, what makes the price point work? How do you know, who is this for uniquely? All of those things. So the strategic conversations have been really juicy. But essentially what we are talking about is Brand Catalyst.
Yes.
Which I'm really excited about. Your immersive and intensive 5-week brand activator program for entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And one of the things I love about it is that one of the headlines on the sales page, which I warmly encourage all of you to go and have a look at right now, is that you're helping people setting a clear direction for your brand that's going to be the catalyst to powerful growth in 2025.
Yes.
Why is that so important?
Oh, because let's be honest, the last, frankly, 5 years, ever since Brexit was looming its head back in 2019, the last 5 years have been so incredibly tough.
Yeah.
Everything's shifted. We have all been through the mill. We're going through the mill again. I think it would be a kind of a rarity if you had kept a full grasp on your brand the whole way through that.
Yeah.
Most of us have just lost a bit of touch with our brands, certainly lost quite a lot of love and momentum for our brands, just in that kind of fight to keep going and keep trading and keep moving forwards. And what I'm so excited about is this is your chance to pause. You can keep running your business. It's not five full-on weeks, but just, you know, a little bit every week of really reconnecting with your business, really reconnecting with what matters, where your magic is, what sets you apart, really believing in yourself again. And and I know it's really powerful because this is what I'm doing with Studio Thea, and I feel like a different person.
Yeah. It's been amazing to be
and funnily
in that
enough,
whole journey.
I feel like a different person again with this. I can't put my finger on what is it that is giving me the bullshit barrier for Instagram. Like that is not even a thing right now. I'm so excited. So I think a lot of us have quite big plans for 2025.
Yeah.
And you will make achieving those infinitely easier if you take a little bit of time at the start of the year to really focus in on your brand. I always use this analogy, don't I? But it's like that car. Pull the car backwards and then it'll fly.
Yeah, amazing. So in a nutshell, what is it? What's the program?
So it's effectively, it is about getting you to the point of a really rock solid clarity document for your brand and a knockout vision.
Amazing.
And this is one of the things that's been so challenging in terms of how can I make this work? Because we talked, didn't we, about, well, should we get to the point of design? But actually, what I care about is people having extraordinary brands that are really going to move their businesses forwards. And 9 times out of 10, the best person to execute that is not the entrepreneur. So I wanted to kind of stop before the design stage. So I'll get you to the point of knowing exactly what your magic is, where your space is, who your key users are, what your brand strategy is, what the essence of your business is, the nuances of all that, and how your brand should feel. So you're going to get a real resonant sense of that.
So that all sounds amazing. Knowing your courses as intimately as I do, how is this different from brand clarity and brand vision?
Well, ultimately, it's getting you to the same place, which is a rock solid strategy, a clear sense of clarity, deep sense of clarity, and a really spine tingling vision. And there's 2 key differences. So the course is mentored,
right,
which means that at the start of the program, we will have an hour together where I get to know you, I get to understand what your objectives are, I get a deep sense of you. And that sense, there's a limit to how much of a deep, no, can I say that again? Because I'm not going to get a deep sense of them in an hour, and get a sense of you. And that understanding of your brand is then going to deepen week on week, because what we're going to do is we're going to walk you through the key exercises needed to find clarity for your brand. You'll then submit them to me. I'll give you feedback. So my understanding of your brand is going to deepen as we go. I will get a deeper sense of resonance as we go, which means that by the time we get to the vision stage, I don't need to teach you all of the whys and wherefores around kind of the different nuances of the fonts. You can be quite instinctive because I'm there to catch it.
Amazing.
So the big difference really is it's massively accelerated, because I'm not having to teach you that level of expertise. When we design the courses, we have to make them really fail safe, don't we? Because they're self-paced. It's really important to me that they work, that you get the outcome that you need. So we have to be very robust in the exercises that we give, because nobody's sense checking it.
Yeah.
So I think the great thing with this is you are sense checking. I am sense checking everything. But I'm also elevating. I'm also adding new perspectives. I'm imagining when it comes to the vision, I'm not only saying, I think it could look a bit more like this, but I'm really able to push and challenge. So it's a nice middle ground actually between the consultancy offering, which is done for you, and the self-paced courses. This is a done with you.
So who is this going to be most beneficial for?
Well, anyone who has big plans for their business next year. So anyone that maybe wants to move into a different market, maybe wants to elevate their brand, anyone that's launching a new business. So if you're thinking of rebranding, you just want to energize your brand, it's a great program for you.
Amazing.
And I think it's going to be specifically interesting for people who either don't have the budget or don't want to relinquish complete control that comes with a consultancy offering.
Yeah.
Maybe someone who, I mean, one of my friends said to me the other day, I don't want to be a branding expert. I just want to get this right.
Yeah.
I was like, well, it's one or the other. You either learn to do it yourself and you learn to do it well, or you pay someone to do it for you.
It's real, incisive, rock solid clarity is one of the things that we walk away with. What's the cost of not having that clarity? How does not having clarity hold us back? If we were to go in and say, right, I've got this big vision, I've got these big ideas for my brand in the upcoming year, and I think I'm okay. Can I get away with not having this rock solid clarity?
Yeah.
What will we miss out on? How does that hold us back?
I wish I could effectively communicate the myriad ways that this shows up. You see this as well. Everybody thinks they have clarity.
Yeah.
Everybody tells me, oh, I've got clarity. I mean, there was that open house, wasn't there, where I had 4 people working on their websites. Every single one of them was faltering. And, they couldn't write the copy. They couldn't write the headlines. They couldn't decide what colors they wanted. Someone couldn't decide what domain name she wanted. Someone else this week was like, oh, I don't know what lead magnet I should create for my website. Somebody else has messaged me because she needs a name for her business, and she's saying, but I've got clarity. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think you have. Because when you have, generating the ideas for the names is one thing, but deciding on them, that's like a no-brainer when you have clarity.
Yes. Yes.
I was talking to another client a couple of weeks ago about this idea that when you have clarity, when you have a clear direction, and not just brand clarity, but this strategic direction as well, every single pound you spend on your business is going to be moving that brand forwards. So very few of us have a limitless budget. Very few of us can do all the things that we want to do for our brands immediately. So we have to make choices, and that, I wish it didn't, but that sometimes means things coming out of sync. So sometimes it means photography being done before the brand identity. Now, if you know what your brand eventually is going to look like, I don't mean in terms of exactly what the logo should look like, but if you, broadly speaking, know the visual direction that your brand is going to take, and that doesn't mean you have to have the specifics of the brand identity locked down. It just means that you have got, in my case, it's a vision board, it's a clear mood board. I then break that down into, what are the nuances of this? What are the things that really matter? Actually, we could jump ahead and do a photo shoot for that brand and come back to the brand identity when we were ready. I'm thinking of a food brand specifically that I was talking to a couple of weeks ago. And, we won't be photographing the packaging because that isn't supporting the brand direction.
Sure.
But the biggest challenge right now is there's a misalignment between the price point and the magic and the perception, and those things all stacking up with where we want to be selling this and who we want to be taking it seriously. Photography can do a lot, and let's be honest, it takes up a big real estate on the website. So it's not the worst idea in the world if you're limited on funds to jump to photography. But you need this strategy first.
Yeah.
And I think the best analogy I've got for that is, you buy a house, and if you buy anything like the kind of houses that we buy, it's going to need painting pretty much straight away. So you can spend time and money on some paint and you can improve it room by room. But the chances are, over time, you're going to want to change that because he didn't have a plan in place. You can buy bits of furniture, but they end up not really working. You sat down with an architect, with an interior designer at the start, and kind of went, here's the big vision for the house. We can't do the extension for 5 to 10 years, but here's what's going to happen. Every single decision you make falls off of that.
And is moving you towards it, right?
Every single pound moves you towards it, or you make peace with the fact that, okay, this is going to be a short-term investment, but we need it right now.
Yeah.
It's that strategy, that direction, and that sense of momentum, isn't it, that comes from really keying back into your brilliance.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. So that really does answer the question for me of why people need it. And you said a little bit about what it's going to look like, the 5-week mentoring, the connecting up front, that regular feedback. I think the last time I saw you this excited, actually, no, that's not quite true, but one of the times that sticks in my mind of you being this excited was just when you launched Elevate. Yeah. And it sort of feels quite similar. What are you most looking forward to or excited about with this?
I've got such a good feeling about it. I really have. It feels full of possibility. I love working with entrepreneurs. This is why I got into this.
Yeah.
I love nothing more than getting to know an entrepreneur, getting to understand their business, seeing the potential in that business, and really investing in wanting the best for them. And you talked last week in the collaboration episode about how your client projects feel like a collab. Yeah. And I feel the same with mine. I cannot wait for this. And I think having done this format a couple of times when we launched Media Kit Mastered, I did a mentored thing. And then having run Elevate for the last, 5, 6, 7 years, yeah. Quite a long time. I see the upside of this kind of format. And I guess I've learned also kind of what works for me in terms of delivery. Yeah. So for this, I've really... I'm excited because we've structured it in a way that really gets people to where they want to get to at the end. And I absolutely know, because of the mentoring, no, don't say that. And I absolutely know that we can deliver on that, which is really exciting.
Yeah. And I think I'm really excited because, as you've said, it aligns with how you love to work and puts you firmly in your magic. And the thought for me that you're going to open the new year doing that is going to, it's just going to make my job a lot easier for the rest of the year.
It really is. Sign up for Elizabeth's sake if no one else is.
So yes, speaking of sign-ups, if you would love to join the Brand Catalyst program, lovely people, you can find it at thebrand-stylist.com/brand-catalyst-program, or it's under the workshops tabs on the website. Please go and check it out. I know it's going to be hugely valuable for lots of my clients, which is amazing. And I just really, I want to celebrate. This has been a long time in the working out and unveiling. And as we said right at the beginning, when it is the right time for something, seeing you click into your flow state with it and it just all come together was just magic to watch. So yay!
Thank you. Can I just add, there is a nice discount of £300 when you book before the end of the month.
Oh, go get it, folks.
Before the 29th of November. You don't need to remember any codes. It's just on sale.
Amazing.
Because there are a limited number of places. Like, because of the mentoring element, there's a limited number of people that I can work with. So when they're gone, they're
Grab
gone.
it while it's hot, people.
Yes, please do.
Fabulous. Thank you.
And thank you also for all your help and support as usual. I could not have done it without you. So thank you very much.
Pleasure, my lovely.